News reporter Rachel Gabrielson was out and about overnight checking in on all of that damage and those overnight storms. So Rachel, give us the very latest. What can we expect to hear? I know we'll be hearing more from you at 6:51 from the neighbors. Is that right? How are they doing this morning?
You know, I think it's fair to say everyone in this neighborhood is very thankful that no one was hurt, but everyone definitely shaken up this morning. To give you an idea of how much damage is in the area, take a look. We've got broken 2x4s, we've got a lot of shingles, even bigger pieces of shingles around. Now take a look at this. I'm in the middle of Eli Court right now. We're going to go off my left shoulder here and take a look at this home down the street. Now that the light's coming up, you can finally see it. Hopefully that's coming up in your shot now. You can see the garage portion of this home completely on its side. Debris in different parts of the home have spilled out. I mean, just an impressive amount of damage in the worst way possible. And if you come back this way with me, we're going to take a walk over this way. You know, some of the homes in this area really haven't been affected at all. And then you come across the street here and it's really even worse over here. Damage and broken windows to this yard here, but take a look at this garage over here. 2 cars inside. The garage completely ripped off from the home itself. And neighbors that I've spoken to this morning say it's really was like a freight train when this thing came through. It lasted about 4 minutes long. So you're going to hear from some of those neighbors coming up at 6:51 this morning. But I can tell you they were some of the nicest people I think I've ever met on a story. And they really all came together. They made sure everyone was accounted for. A lot of teamwork out here this morning. So stick around. We're going to hear from them at 6:51. Rachel Gabrielson, KSFY Action News, Sioux Falls.
All right, again, just to kind of reiterate, the severe threat is over and done with. We do have a lot of grain bins are down in the Yankton area. A UPS truck flipped over down by Vermilion, a garage taken out near White Lake. A lot of damage this morning, but we've not had reports of injuries, which is
that's been very fortunate.
Thing,
we should say that photo that we just popped up, there was a car parked right on the other side of that tree.
It was really
just
close.
Very lucky that that didn't land on that. So yes, reports of damage, fortunately no injuries.
I think the worst of the damage so far is on the southwest side.
That's what it sounds like. That's where Action News reporter Rachel Gabrielson is this morning. She's been keeping an eye on all the damage from the overnight storm. She joins us, and I think you've been talking to some of the neighbors there that woke up to probably the worst damage that we've heard about so far, Rachel.
Absolutely, and some of the worst damage that many people are saying we've seen here really in the last 10 to 15 years. I want to give you an idea of how hit or miss things have been here on Eli Court this morning off of 48th Street. Right now, standing next to a home that probably looks fairly normal this morning. You can see it's been weathered a bit by the storm, but nothing too much. We're going to take one step this way, okay? In the front yard, take a look here. Windows broken out, a lot of debris has been carried over, bicycles in the front yard. Some playground equipment has been blown over as well. If we go over a little bit further, you're going to see a camper that has been completely overturned on its side, but we haven't got to the worst of it yet. We're going to move over into this next home right in the driveway area there, and if we get over there, you're going to see that the garage has been completely ripped off from the home there. 2 cars inside, some significant damage to the roof there as well. Now we have some video from when we were first out here this morning. About 3:30 this morning, we were joined by a lot of neighbors out here who immediately tell us that they were going door to door, making sure everyone got out of their homes okay. It ended up being 4 homes that were severely damaged in this area here. Luckily, everyone got out okay, but so many people we talked to described it as a massive freight train that came through. They said, you know, they were watching our forecast on the news. We were saying it was just about to hit the southwest side of Sioux Falls, and then it hit and just completely started breaking out windows. Everyone here had to run for cover a very few minutes. Let's go ahead and take a listen to one of the neighbors and how he describes the morning.
Living in South Dakota, you hear a lot of winds that are very high force. This was stronger than most. I've only heard something like it a couple times in my entire life, but it was very loud. And then the really scary thing was the objects. You could hear objects moving down the street. There was a boat parked over here, and I was pretty sure I heard that grinding down the street on its side. And if you look over there, it's sitting in someone's front yard. So it was quite loud. And like I said, before it even got to the worst of it, I saw parts of houses flying by. So I grabbed my children and my wife and came downstairs.
Now, one more thing I want to go ahead and show you here this morning. Take a look at this. Again, you're looking at that house that we just showed you a second ago, but if we pull out, take a look at the home next door. It almost looks untouched by this storm. So these storms can just be so unpredictable when they come in, but for one thing, I think we've all seen out here this morning how dangerous a severe thunderstorm can really be. Rachel Gabrielson, KSFY Action News, Sioux Falls.
Wow,
All right.
Rachel, thank you so much. Gosh, that's tough to hear from that
It
neighbor. You
really
can tell
is.
he was really shaken by everything that happened over.